They enjoy stabbing things. It doesn't matter who kills him. It matters that he dies. It matters that he exists no more.
Point of order, I do not in fact enjoy stabbing things. I would much prefer to kill with energy blasts, but I'm not averse to it.
And see, I actually prefer taking their heads in between my hands and squeezing so tightly until it pops in my hand like a fruit.
She picks.
Well, I want to kill something.
She picks
That's
up.
very graphic.
She picks up the contract again and says, "The deal with the Archdevil Titavilius will be satisfied upon elimination of the Rakshasa. May he rot in his own filth, Al Monroe. It is quite clear. Upon his annihilation, you are free." Shall we begin?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Do you guys want me to recap, or do you guys want to kick it off? Anybody with
Would you
strong
recap?
feelings?
I love it when you do the recap.
Yeah.
All right, recap it is. Last week, we had our adventures in the Astral Sea come to their natural resting place on the Rock of Brawl, where the party had been taken in by a large beholder named Lucky Luigi, and they had spent more or less around a week in his tavern, exploring the city, getting their bearings, deciding what to do next. Deidre, at one point, you made a decision, and you decided that it was time to come to terms with whatever is manifesting power in that hellish infernal rod of yours. So you made contact, and that creature seems to be willing to make deals. It wants something, it's willing to give something. Only good comes from that kind of generosity. And we will certainly explore that in the future. We also discovered a new companion who is currently absent. Plucky is, let's say, roguish in more than a player character sense. You've met this very roguish character who always seems to be willing to make a deal or some connection to some undercurrent things on the Rock of Brawl. He's hard to pin down, and he's currently absent. He seems to have taken to the party, though, as he was with you in the inn, and he followed you to the marketplace. And we last left him as he went off to do errands for the Jugglers Guild. The Jugglers Guild being the guild doing street performances in the market. When the group came, there was some improv theater going on, there was a jugular, there was a sense of festivity around this guild. Maybe something more, probably not something less. Luke, you're getting oriented as you have gone through some bodily changes as well. And you have found more than barbaric rage. You have got a new connection and a new arm, and you are exploring those consequences and those mental states of your past adventure, as this is the first time that the group has really got to settle down since being whisked away on this adventure. First, I don't want to say captives, because that's not the right word, but it's not, in my mind, entirely disconnected. First of that, then with kidnapping, and then with these near-death experiences, Luke is finally in a place where that can start to process. maybe. And Rodo, your reputation somewhat precedes you even here, as at that Happy Beholder Tavern, there were images on this astral streaming services of various adventurers past and present. Some of that certainly looked familiar to you.
But we are specifically not mentioning it to anyone.
We have decided to avoid drawing attention to those things. However, you were again, victim is not the right word, but the insertion of something undesired has a certain victimization connotation to it. You were put-pocketed. And you were put-pocketed with a key and a message that turned out to be a street address, which the group decided to follow. And it luckily wasn't like an evil giant whale in the physical sense. In the narrative sense, it very well could be. But in the story, it's a house, a big house. And from the looks of this house, the Rock of Brawl is not a large place. Whatever this is, whosever this is, has to have some connection to power or wealth or both. As you went in, you found a note that was slowly auto-scrolling. And by slowly, I mean you can see very slowly as new words start to form. And it basically says, "Welcome to the house," in a handwriting that you found familiar. And I don't know if you fully know the history of this house yet, but that is something that we can explore. And that is where we left off the group.
I have some ideas about the house. Noticing the note, I'll pick it up and I'll kind of shake it and I'll go to crumple it up, but then I won't, and I'll put it back on the desk. And it's going to be really obvious to you guys that I am very frustrated at this moment. Okay.
Rodo, is everything okay?
This note is definitely from my father.
What?
Now, he's not here, which is great, because I would be upset if he was. But I really need you to find me a portrait in this house.
Right.
Really need you to find me something that indicates who owns it, because he implies that a family friend or a family member has given us the loan of it, and I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Right. Let's look around. Luke?
I'm downstairs.
Luke
I call
has-
from upstairs.
I'll check down here.
And if you look in the chat, the portrait you will find is there.
Ooh, fancy.
Ooh. Alright, can I roll a perception check to see if I can find the portrait in here?
Yeah, 22 on my perception, DM.
Well, let me ask Rodo. Rodo, where would they put their portrait in here? There are several wall hangings.
So I'm in the office. Where are the stairs that go upstairs?
All right, so to
I'm up here.
clarify this space on the map, any part that is sand, because I couldn't really figure out another way, is not a part of the ground. That's the second floor. This is the stairs that lead up this way to the second floor. So, and then
All right,
straight
and the
up.
front entrance is where the front entrance is the room where Deidre and Bloop are, or right here?
Right here,
Right here?
it opens into the hallway. Down the hallway is the stairs. Off to the left this way is the dining room, and this is the kitchen in the back. There is a door here to the backyard, which is back behind the second story on the map.
Would this be the top of the stairs then?
It is, yes.
That's where that portrait is.
All right, then, Luke, I'm going to say it's decently obvious as you walk up the stairs. It's like if you keep walking, you could smack right dab into the portrait.
So as Lucifer's walking up, he's like, a portrait of someone, eh? And he's gonna walk past this portrait and do like a backwards walk, be like, hey, who's this badass looking queen here? Oi, Roto, I see a badass on your wall. You didn't tell me there's more badasses in your family.
Oh, God. What kind of badass?
Oh, she's got red hair and blue eyes and a flame.
No. And Rhoda's going to kind of troop up the stairs, and he's going to get right to the top, and he's going to look up at the picture. It's going to be like, oh, Goram. Okay. So we are physically safe here.
Well, that's not very reassuring.
This lovely woman is my half-sister, Esmeralda.
Esmeralda looks like she can hold herself in a fight. Where's this Esmeralda?
Esmeralda can't hold her own in a fight. She can, however, go high C for several minutes at a time. She is an opera singer of some renown. And if she catches me here, she's gonna make me go to the freaking opera.
Oh, don't do well with loud, piercing noises.
What's... Okay, I have to ask. What's an opera?
Have you ever been to a play?
Not really.
Bad
Like
ones,
a music
yes.
theater? You know how the little puppet shows on street corners? Right? Imagine that,
Yep.
but the puppets were people, and it was in a really big theater. That's a play. Now,
Okay.
if you imagine that everyone in that play is singing extremely fancy music the whole time,
Okay.
that's an opera. And Esmeralda, as my older sister. I trust both of you. I need you to keep a secret for me.
Okay. What's the secret?
You've heard of the Steel Raven, right? He was the hero on the TV in one of the shows in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he just a story?
Well, I mean, his adventures are very exaggerated, but he is a real person and he does do real adventuring. And he has a tendency to take his children with him
Wait.
as sidekicks.
Rodo. Is
Yeah.
You
that
say
your
you've got a kid. Yeah, that's your dad. Is that your dad? That's definitely what I mean.
Yes, the Steel Raven is my father.
Oh.
Never saw you
I
having a
was-
dad.
The Raven for several years. Before I was the Raven, Esmeralda was the Raven. And when she adventured with my father, their adventures were not as well known. They weren't being serialized yet into magazines and fanzines and stuff. So when she got out of the sidekickery and got into the opera, she wrote and performed her own operas.
Okay.
Where she would pretend to be a female version of our dad.
Oh.
It's an interesting play on things.
And the role of the Junior Raven would always be played by the roliest, poliest castrato that she can find.
Well, that's rather rude.
I'm gonna say, I don't really understand the big words.
Basically, a very fat person.
Well, that's rude.
That's what I said.
Not a person. Well, I mean, children are people, but not like an adult person. Like a roly-poly little child that she then puts up in clown makeup and big rouged cheeks and great big gobby eyes, and he's she makes me look like a clown. And every time I see her, she reminds me that she makes me look like a clown in all of her little operas.
Oh. I'm sorry, Rhoda.
Although, to be fair, I do know that she loves me and cares about me, and like I said, we are, except from perhaps being made to go to an opera that will infuriate me, this house is going to be quite a safe haven for us. If there is any member of my family that I trust, it's Esmeralda.
All of that sounds like very fun DM fodder, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, has the party decided that this is an acceptable place to hunker down?
I say yes.
In that
Is
case,
this room over here taken?
that leads to my next question. Will the party split up the rooms in any specific manner?
I believe yes. Sips.
Oh, I was already in here first.
Oh, come on.
How about this? We switch every night, okay? I'll get here first, and you can have it the rest of the time that we're here. Let me just live like a king. I almost died trying to get you. Look at my arm.
Fair enough.
I need it. Thank you. Thank you. Slams the door.
So can I give you guys a little bit of a rundown of all the rooms in case that will help you decide. As everyone notices, the room in the upper left is the master suite. It is the fanciest room of all. You have 2 closets, a set of armor, you have mirrors, you have vanity and makeup for some reason. I can't wait until you explore this stuff. There is a desk, there are chests, there are potions and unguents and various things that smell very nice. This is the room across from it. It's got its own little bookshelves, a special writing desk, chest, chairs, its own vanity. Not as fancy, but not bad. Outside of the master suite, this might be my favorite. Its writing desk is right underneath a large window that looks out. And the angle, partially you see the other house, but it also sees out beyond. And it can look over into the astral sea off the edge of the asteroid from this angle. It has a very special crystal right here, which gives off just this faint glow. It has its own big closet and vanity. The beds aren't oversized except in the master suite, but there is a charm to that room. The other rooms is largely what you see. they're bedrooms, but they are not spectacular in any way. They do have a window. They are tight quarters, but they are livable, and that is the key word. They are livable. And this, I won't lie, it's a bathroom, but I can see Bloop choosing it as his bedroom, so let's not make any assumptions that it's everybody's bathroom.
I think we need to nip that in the bud. We can have that discussion, but he can't have the only bathtub for a bit.
Exactly.
And there is a small bathroom there is a restroom downstairs, no bath in it, unless you consider a stand with a bowl a bathroom, which no judgments. We've all been in places before. We've all done things. So with that, you guys are free to choose amongst yourself how to pick these rooms.
I kind of like this one. If it's alright, Rodo.
Oh, yeah. Is the bed red or brown?
Red.
Red means guest bedroom. You're certainly fine in there. Luke, you're taking this fancy one?
It looks like he's going through the dungeons.
That's just for tonight, yes. What are these fancy smelling things here? They smell like they might taste pretty good.
Those are very certainly my sister's scents and makeups. This is almost certainly the room that she herself would use if she was here.
So she wouldn't mind if I kick my feet up then?
Nope. In fact, Luke, I think this is the right room for you.
That worries me a little bit. You just gave into that, Rodo, but thank you. Close the door on your way out, will ya?
Oh, yes.
Get naked in here.
Out of curiosity, does Luke rummage through anything?
Probably he's gonna want to find some kind of different clothes. Like, my first thought was he would definitely try on this suit of armor.
It is not Asimar size. Although you could try to put on the helmet and it can just sit on top of your head. And you can have
then he's definitely just
head.
gonna walk around the rest of the room with the helmet halfway on his head as he rummages through. He would definitely snoop around after laying there. After undressing and freeing himself, he's just oh yes. He's gonna then kind of walk around the room.
Feel free to make an investigation roll. Let's see what's in that room.
All right, investigation.
Investigation.
Oh, that's only a 7. Could not that I want to re-roll or anything, but I do kind of. But could I do more perception? Because it's not like he's actively investigating or looking at anything. He's more just rummaging through things, smelling things, seeing if anything might taste good, seeing if there's any just.
When you
he
say,
said, it's Esmeralda's room.
When you say tastes good, what are you willing to put in your mouth that you find in this room?
Well, Lucifer asked about these smelly things over here before he found out his perfume, but he thought that maybe if it smelled good, it also tastes good. So,
I mean, really, there's only one way to find out.
He would definitely probably at least try a little bit of the perfume, see if it wasn't alcohol, really.
Why do I hear Vegeta in my head? When he ate soap.
So I'll say with the 7, it's easy enough to find clothes in the closet. You don't find much else than what's already there. Hello, Mr. Puck. Plucky, give me a sec. Let me wrap this, and then I will cue you to the door.
Alrighty, if I don't talk, it's because I'm muted again. Please let me know.
All right. So,
Am I able
Roto...
to hear all the... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Am I able to hear all of Lucifer's shenanigans next door?
I don't want to speak for Lucifer, but I have no doubt he is not quiet.
I mean, but I'm also not doing the loudest things ever. It's not like I'm being like totally rambunctious. I'm just like, again, Lucifer only took this room because it was big and fancy. He had no interest in actually trying to investigate anything. So like earlier, like instead of the investigation, I like having that perception or whatever. But like he's just in here just to snoop a little bit. Maybe it's just like he smelled some good stuff. He wants to look at the clothes, wants to see if the armor could fit. You might hear maybe a little bit of the clanging of the armor as he like tries to like take off the helmet off of like the stand and put it on his own head. But that's like probably the only like major thing you might hear as he like fumbles with it a little bit.
Deidre, make a perception check real quick.
Okie dokie. That would be a 9.
Oh, it's not very high. You might hear a little bit of the armor in the next room, but probably not more than that. With a 9, you don't necessarily notice anything else in your room except the view. The view is obvious from that window. Should you look out, if you angle out towards the edge of the asteroid, you have that view that goes on for infinity. And it is quite a view, especially for someone that was never raised in this environment. It's one of those things that the people that live here or work here daily for long periods, they become numb to it. But for outsiders, there's nothing else in the multiverse that is quite like this view.
Look, come look at this.
Do you bang on the wall?
Yep.
Luke, you hear bang, bang, bang from the room next to you.
Yeah. Who's there? Is that a ghost? Oh, I fucking hate the paranormal.
Deidre just smiles to herself. Yes, it's me. The phantasma of the vanity.
This is when you do hear something as he throws the helmet at the vanity.
Are you trying to break the mirror?
Yeah, anything that, like, he just heard that this voice was coming from the vanity. It's the vanity. He doesn't know much of what that is, but he's gonna assume it's just something, and he's gonna throw it probably at the mirror because he's heard a lot of haunting things about mirrors. Roto,
please make a perception check really quick.
I was just about to ask about that. Nope, that's a 7.
Nope, you don't hear anything. But I do have a question for you real quick. Is that the room you're taking?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this guest room over here.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's the second plainest room. Probably the one next to the bathroom is the most plain, and the one filled with bathroom noises potentially. So, good choice, I guess. So there is a cozy nature to that room. Luke, do you
I like the small, cozy room. That's by choice.
I had a feeling it might be. Luke, do you stay in that room or do you keep?
What time of day is it right now?
So, how to describe a day in the astral sea in the Rock of Brawl?
True. How long have we been awake?
Well, really, this is just after you kind of got there, right? Because we picked right back up. So, not the better part of it, well, maybe the better part of a day, but not probably the closest to sleeping yet.
Okay.
Was he able to hear Deidre laughing in the next room?
Let me see. I want to just roll a. Hold on. Yeah, probably. It's when he's gonna run out the door, run over, come bang on this door, and he's gonna almost like open it. Mind you, he doesn't have the best memory, so maybe forgetting to, dress oneself or something like that. First thing, he goes to point at you with his rock arm, and as he does, you hear something like whiz out and hit the ceiling with a little bit of like dust and ceiling as he accidentally casts magic stone up at the ceiling as he tries to point at you, and a piece of the tip of his finger like shoots off as it hits the ceiling, and he's just gonna stop him.
And Deidre's just gonna scream, "Is he naked?" As you said before.
The important questions are being asked.
That was one of my questions.
And cover her face. Get out!
I'm sorry, I came in here to say something, but I forgot. He's gonna sprint back to the room, freaking out that a piece of his finger just shot off into her room as well. Also, still forgetting that he's naked.
Real quick, I have a question for Plucky. Plucky, when you show up, would you knock or would you barge in?
We'll see. I don't think I'll barge into anybody's room.
Would you barge into the house, though?
I'd barge into the house. Maybe knock first, but then barge in.
Okay. Can everybody make a real quick perception check?
Okay.
Oh, this one I heard. 21.
17.
24.
Okay, so let's take an order here. Deidre, for the first time, something catches your ear. It's the sound of very soft music. So soft that you don't notice it until you notice it, and then you look over that crystal and it gives off a little bit of melodious tunes every now and again. All of you hear a quick knock on the door and the door open. And
folks,
Plucky, you see there's a hallway in front of you. That's a set of stairs there. Off to the left is a large spacious living quarters, and to the right is a desk and a bookshelf and basically a reading room or a small office. How do you guys react when you hear the door?
Oh God, it better not be her.
Just stay in your room and put the pants on.
We're good on
pants. Wait, why would you think I was not wearing pants?
You came to my room naked.
Rhoda's just gonna pause for a second and think and tilt his head and think for a second and look down and look over.
Was she able to see him?
And then he's just going to leave and go downstairs. I would rather deal with my sister.
I am so sorry. I am so... Rhoda, wait. I thought you were Lucifer. I thought you were Luke.
I'm not gonna ask.
You see Plucky.
Oh! It's the Music Man fella.
The one and only. Now you both
found
do
your
it.
here okay?
Yeah. Just had to take a little pit stop, you know.
Fair.
And what was that? What did I just hear yelling about no pants?
We're just establishing house rules. That one was rejected. Pants are not optional. You do need
I would
to wear
prefer pants. Yeah.
Deidre is coming down the stairs. I am so sorry, Bruno. I did not mean to say that. I thought there was a little hello.
Howdy.
There was a little particular... But you can
I think you need to breathe. I think you need to breathe.
You can see Deetra's face is completely flush.
I have absolutely no questions.
Lucifer's
I
gonna
think
come down with some pants
Real
and be
quick,
like,
real quick, Luke. I don't mean to interrupt, but did you drink anything off of the stands?
yes, he would have at least tried 2 of them before giving up.
Okay, so
Oh, gee.
Deidre, Roto, and Plucky. When Luke comes down, he smells, let's say, flowery. Roto, I think you would probably know that smell. Just saying.
Did you And Rhoda's gonna go right up to you, Lucifer. Right up to you and be like, sniff. Did you
Listen, I've got to say, the drinks your sister has are downright terrible. I've never had spirits that tasted so bloody gross.
Wait a minute.
And I smell horrible.
Look, as these are taking whiff. That's a
No,
I
stop.
smell like
Hold on.
alcohol
Hold
to
on.
you.
no. You smell like flowers.
Yeah, you smell like a bunch of
Exactly.
plants.
Oh, I hate it.
Lucifer, Luke. I need you to I need you to think about this though. What is the greatest social faux pas of being drunk in public? It's the smell. Right?
Right.
Those drinks are designed so that you don't give away your drunkenness with the smell of booze on your breath.
But
You
I
can drink
don't
them.
feel drunk.
It's a slow to hit you. I'm just saying.
It's
You
just
may
gonna
want to
be
drink
like,
all of them.
is this gonna be like that one time when I snuck into the leader council's chambers and I drank the one thing that turned out to be a different ayahuasca strain that ended up making me trip for about 3 days straight?
Yes.
Oh god, I hated that day.
Could very well be. I don't know what strength alcohol she keeps. I just know she keeps the funny smelling stuff.
Wait, let me get this straight. You found something and you just randomly drank it?
Listen,
Sounds like him.
you're new to the group, I understand. You'll get used to I've got a really, really good nose for this kind of stuff. Trust me. Drink what I drink in the future, you'll be having a good time.
And yet,
Like
All
I will
right.
be here soon. Hopefully.
All right, speaking
Hopefully
of being
it's
the
not
new
like that
guy, speaking of being the new guy, I'm fine sleeping on the couch down here.
No, Plucky. There are other rooms here. I don't recommend the one next to the bathroom.
I don't want that one. I want the big room next to us.
That is a living room.
That's
That's-
yeah, that's
that's a little.
I know it's a living room. I'm fine with sleeping in the living room. That's what I'm saying.
there's a bed for you upstairs, Plucky. You can't have the living room.
Fine, it's your guys' house.
It is the bigger room left up there, though.
I know. I don't really get to sleep in beds very often.
Well,
Then this will be a novel experience for you.
Novel indeed.
technically, you'll be sleeping in an actual room, Plucky.
Yeah, I guess that'd be nice.
Plucky, real quick, as a bard, do you play the piano?
I think I know how to, just I'm not proficient in it.
Okay. You
I feel
would.
like Plucky knows a bit of everything, but he's only proficient in let's check. He's only proficient in fiddle, flute, and a lute.
You would
Only
notice.
proficient in 3 instruments.
As a real person, I'm jealous, honestly. You would notice that big piano in the living room.
Well, look at this.
Whoever owns this house might be a connoisseur of the arts of some sort. Might be into music, right, Rodo?
Yeah, she might be in music.
Hey, Beard, can I, try this thing out?
What
did you just call?
Yeah, what, oh, the piano.
Yeah, the piano.
All right,
Yeah.
next question. Does Plucky read musical notes?
Yes, 100%.
There is a musical sheet on the board above the keys if you would like to try it.
I would love to try this out. Look at this.
All right, and you're not proficient in piano?
Non-proficient.
Go ahead and do a charisma check instead of a performance check.
Thank goodness it's charisma. 17.
Rhoda, you immediately hear the opening parts of an opera that is quite familiar to you as Plucky begins to bang away at these keys. And it's
Plucky
quite
is like
good.
kind of... Plucky's swaying kind of side to side. His eyes, as he's getting farther in the piece, are slowly closing and he's enjoying it. To him, everybody else in the room is gone.
At least he's enjoying it.
For one brief moment before he actually catches on, Rhoda's kind of humming along. It's like, do shining in the...
Plucky, you see Rhoda react.
Everything all right? And I stop.
Rhoda? You good?
That is the Steel Rooks theme intro part 4. It starts all of my sister's operas about my father's adventures. And it always ends with a roly-poly child in too much makeup rolling onto the stage and saying, "Hello!" And he does this little, like, hand gesture, like he's a terrible child actor trying to appear overly cute. And he does the whole high-pitched,
Man, that's so high pitched, it's cutting out from my ears.
See?
Yeah, I can't hear you when you do that high pitch.
Your mic kind of cuts out as you hit this.
Your mic peaked.
Let me try it with less yelling. Oh no, I'm Rodo.
Oh, that's perfect.
There you go.
Oh, let me try. Give it a try for one quick second. Rodo!
Here, let me also try.
Sorry, buddy.
Did you guys hear me?
Why?
No, I think it's
everybody is cutting out while they attempt this.
I love that. I'm so glad I didn't choose a character with that voice now. I'm so glad I didn't choose a character with that voice.
Luke,
Right.
Luke, while this is going on, do you explore any other parts of the house?
Yeah, I would probably end up. Rhoda, you were in the office earlier, right?
Yes.
I would, as I'm trying to go back upstairs, would remember Rhoda was in the office, and I'd be like, well, if his sister had some really trippy drinks, I wonder if they'd got anything hidden in the office. Fancy people typically do. And he's gonna try to stroll into the office.
First question, Rhoda, what did you do with the auto-scrolling piece of paper?
I believe I very definitely and distinctly said I did not crumple it up and I put it down on the desk.
All right, Luke,
If you review the tape, that's what I said.
Luke, can you make an investigation or perception check?
Perception. No, this time he's actually looking, so he's definitely looking. 5.
5.
He's not looking for any notes or anything. I will say that he's looking for alcohol.
So, I mean, as you're pushing through, there are things there, but you are pushing them to the side and things are on top of one another. You're not really paying attention for notes. With a 5, you can't really find too much. There are some inkwells and other things in the top drawers. You could continue rummaging if you want and eventually find something, but it'll be a little bit.
Because I'm rummaging for alcohol and I rolled so low, can that result in me finding the crumpled note? And may I roll again to see if I can catch any wording on it before I throw it to the side and distinguish it as garbage?
Well, did you say you didn't crumple it or you did crumple it, Roto? You said you didn't, correct?
I did not crumple it in the end. I was going to and then thought,
oh,
no, I'll want to read this later, and then left it.
So in my mind, as you're searching through, your hand got on the desk and like slid that piece of paper onto other pieces of paper in your search for other things. If you want it to catch your eye, it can catch your eye.
I know what's gonna happen. As I'm rummaging around, thinking that maybe an inkwell might have been alcohol, he's gonna smell it and then be like, no, and he's gonna try to put it down, and it's gonna like spill over onto said note, and he's gonna be Roto's gonna fucking kill me. Oh, shit. And he's gonna try to like shake the piece of paper to try to get the ink off of it and everything.
The ink is now dripping onto the carpet.
There's ink splatter almost like all over the wall as well.
and on Luke as well, I would imagine at this point.
And on Luke as well. So he's just gonna set the piece of paper down and he's gonna slowly walk out of the room, close the door.
No door, it's a wide open archway.
Oh, then he's gonna reach for a door and just be like, and he's gonna run for it upstairs.
You guys hear something?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's okay.
You guys absolutely hear something as I catch my foot on the door on the step and eat shit onto the stairs. Oh fuck! Oh shit! And so now there's ink markings on the steps as well.
The fall up the stairs.
Up the steps.
You good?
I'm like,
oh.
Rhoda, you catch sight of all of that, as does everybody.
No.
Hey, you might want to look in here. I think this is what it started.
Oh.
Before he looks in the office, Roto needs to turn to Deirdre and say, I know I've seen him bleed.
Same here.
So I know that's not blood.
I think that's might been...
It looks like an octopus was murdered in here.
Kinda does.
But we are certain that this is not Lucifer having a bathroom accident, right?
I really hope so, because I'm standing in it. I really hope he didn't have a bathroom accident.
You better take a look in here.
Oh, shit.
Can
I look for the note now?
Make an investigation check. At disadvantage because there's so much ink everywhere. So you're rummaging, you're pushing through it, and your hands are getting just inky. Your hands are inky, and I know you wouldn't try to spread the ink, but it's hard to get ink off of you, and now it's on you, and you are pushing through. You do find a tipped over inkwell. You very well may be holding this piece of paper, but it is so besmeared in spilt ink that it's hard to say.
Oh my.
Wow. You You guys are a very organized bunch, I see.
For the most part. You could be alright, Bruno?
Well, I'm going to be fine.
How much?
You know what? It's my older sister's house, and if I leave it covered in ink, it's what she deserves.
That answers a question of how much time would Rodo spend cleaning it up.
Yep.
It's okay if I look around this. It's okay if I look around this octopus murder scene.
Oh yeah. No. Look for whatever you want. I will ask that you not take anything of value or importance, because she is my sister, and I do love her.
Yeah.
Or at least I would not.
I got about
wish her
I got
to.
about 100 siblings, so I don't get it. I got too many siblings.
Hey,
But I respect
Bruno,
it.
let's try to clean up this mess.
Plucky, are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just seeing what you can see?
I'm just seeing what I can see. I rolled perception, got a 9.
With a 9, you see that there are books on the bookshelves, ink everywhere in that area. There are 2 chairs and a small table that sit out that look like they could function as reading chairs. With a 9, you don't see anything of extreme or important note.
It's nothing too fancy. Give me a sec, because I might actually be able to help clean without being... Hey, you guys, I think I can cover this. And he pulls the lute from his back and swings it to in front of him and starts just strumming a song and humming it to himself. And he casts Unseen Servant to clean up the room.
Oh. Huh. That's
You know there are
really
wizard
useful.
spells that will allow you to clean up messes like this, and I wasn't allowed to learn them as a young wizard because they would not be effective in the field of battle.
Well, this one is.
I had to learn all my spells myself. There's this one I really like to use on guards' heads when they're wearing helmets, but it gets you in a lot of trouble when they can't take the helmet off anymore without medical procedures.
Oh.
Fair indeed.
Right. Fair indeed. Indeed.
So
I just think they should stop wearing metal helmets, you know?
So the
You're
unseen,
not wrong, young friend. You're not wrong.
the unseen servant can like organize the papers and put things up. I don't think that it can like erase necessarily the ink stains from the paper. It can kind of blot out.
No.
It can try to like blot up some of the ink to try to keep it from spreading or dry it. But I mean, the damage is done. And Deidre, where you're standing from, you see like ink hand marks on the stairs where somebody looks like they fell upstairs and kind of did the left hand, right hand crawl for a few steps up the stairs. It's almost like a trail leading somewhere.
I have a question above table. Would I have any extra items in my pocket? Or
Let's be more specific than that. What kind of thing are you asking for your pocket?
would I have picked up anything from my lovely juggler friends?
No, they would have just kind of given you a task to see if you could do it.
Alrighty.
Alright, I'm gonna go check upstairs. See how Lucifer is.
Alright. So, what do you guys do for fun?
You stopped in the kitchen.
That's a great question. The last time we had the opportunity to have fun, we were accused of smuggling, and some of us did drugs.
I've done the first half, not that second half.
Luke, when Deidre goes to your door, what are you doing up there?
Please have pants on. Please have
And
pants
are
on.
you wearing pants? How did you know I was going to ask that?
Yeah, did he keep the pants on?
Deidre, do you knock or do you just go in?
I knock. Luke?
He definitely has his pants on, but at the sound of your voice calling his name out, he is currently wiping his hands of the ink off on fabric in some of the closets. Trying to be like, ugh, ugh. But when he tries to like rub off his rock hand, the rock catches and tears some of the fabric. He's like, oh God, oh no.
Luke?
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at her.
yeah.
Is this what it sounds like?
Nope, never mind. Continue.
Yep.
Oh god.
Look at her.
What? Just what? I didn't do anything. And then as he says that, you start to see some fog come out from underneath the door as he accidentally casts fog cloud at the door. Fog seeping out from underneath the door.
Okay, let me know. Can I roll an Arcana check?
Of course. I'm sure you see the fog. You can do an Arcana check to see if you kind of understand the source.
I love Lucifer so far.
19.
It's certainly magical fog.
Oh, jeez. She started opening the door. Luke.
Wait, you open the door and this cloud just rolls out. What's going on in there?
Let me guess. Fog.
He goes to try to talk, but then he just starts. What the fuck? Deidre,
Okay.
I think something's happening to me.
Okay. Deep breath.
Ever since I fought that stupid Gorgon, my arm turned to stone. It glows. What color was she associated with? The Gorgon I fought.
Ooh, she's not a Fey, so she's not quite connected to colors in the same way as the Court of Colors Fey. In my mind, Medusas are like a bluish gray, though.
My arm will just start glowing in cracks of weird blue color, and I don't even like blue. Okay, and I will stop squeaking like animals in fog, and I almost shot you with a rock that came off of my finger, and I don't know what's going on. Yes.
Look at her.
Yes.
Calm down. I think I know what's going on. But you need to work with me. Okay?
I can barely work myself.
I can tell. But please, as your friend, let me help. Okay?
What do you plan on doing?
I'm just gonna see about something. Okay?
Okay.
It's a small test. Something I had to do. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes.
I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Just trust me.
Can I breathe out yet?
Yes, breathe out.
A little bit of that frog cloud still there, huh?
Now, focus on one particular creature that you might see yourself as. Okay?
Okay.
You got it?
I think so.
Okay, now focus on that creature.
Oh, yes.
And let's see if Lucifer can do wild shape.
I'm thinking. Oh. Nope. I can't become a magical. Teacher? Listen, I know I farted, but it can't have smelled that bad.
It's not a fart.
Were you hoping for something? Because I was thinking manticore, you know, like the thing that has like 3 heads or something like that, I think is what they're called.
Maybe try something simpler.
Oh.
Like maybe a some kind of bird or a wolf or a bear or a big cat.
I think I've got something.
All right, let's see it.
Oh. No, I can't think too hard because that happens every time. Literally.
I think, and I could be wrong if you can do it, I think you might have druid powers. I could be wrong.
Is that like what I've seen you throwing around when we go into combat and stuff?
Yes.
Has Deidre ever wild shaped?
Yes, she has.
Okay, I don't remember it. But
She turned to a mouse.
oh yeah, she has. She has.
Kind of like, my way to the street.
So this conversation continues. Luke,
Yes.
do you know what animal that you would want to wild shape into?
I think at first Lucifer would have no control and it'd be a snake right off the bat. And every time until he got more control over it.
Okay, so does that happen in front of Deidre or?
No, only because I don't want to be super meta, but that can't happen till level 2 druid, and I'm only level 1 druid.
Okay, I was actually looking at your sheet and I don't see wild shape on here. So.
Yeah, so that doesn't happen until we level up again. But yeah, that is, I've got a whole arc for the wild shape already planned for Lucifer, so don't you worry.
All right. So as the first night continues, does the party have any other special interactions they want to do?
Hey.
Lucifer's gonna cry in bed.
Rhoda's going to investigate the kitchen. He really wants to know whether they need to get provisions.
All right. So,
I don't think Plucky would actually sleep in the room. He might look around it, but then he would probably sleep on the couch because it's more comfortable for him.
that is actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you, whether you would sleep in the room or on the couch. Just so you know, the room is that one. That's the one they have left for you. It is next to Rodo and across from Luke. You have a bed, a desk. These are a couple bookshelves, a vanity and mirror, nightstand. There's a little bit of chests built in and a sitting chair. It's overall a nice room.
I think he could get used to it, but I think he would sleep in the room, just not in the actual bed.
You curl up under the desk.
No, just in the chair. Just like if he wore, he has his hood tipped over his face as if it were a hat tilted down.
Kind of that permanent slant as you're just kind of sleep sitting.
Yep. Horrible for his back, but great for, I guess, him.
Rodo, the kitchen appears to be fully stocked. There is a bunch of foodstuffs. this is the stove here. The table is fully ready to prepare meals. There are cupboards, there's flour, there are fruits. Whoever left this here for you did take care to make sure that you had good provisions. Let's assume for around a couple of weeks without having to go to the market. Although,
I have a
eventually
question.
you have to go to the market. What you got?
Could I also just investigate every inch of this room?
With an investigation check, yes.
Alrighty, let's see. Oh, that's not good. 10.
You can find a couple of books. There's a couple of towels. It's a nice room. There's nothing overly exciting about it at the top of your hand. Rodo, hold on. Rodo, one sec. Rodo, do you do anything in the kitchen?
No, I'll grab a piece of fruit and then I'm gonna head back upstairs and confer with everybody just to see. We'll just spend the night here and see what happens in the morrow.
All right. Plucky, as you go to sleep, does anything else happen there? Or do you get up, look around?
I shift into my natural form, so I'm no longer a goblin, but I'm still dressed exactly the same.
Okay.
But I'm just a changeling.
What, in your mind, you don't have to describe it if you don't want to, but you can. What does a changeling look like in its natural state?
From what I've read, they basically are androgynous. They don't have any facial features. Plucky does somewhat have humanoid-ish facial features, and he has silver hair and icy blue eyes, unlike the pale blank eyes, and just, I guess normal changelings have silver hair.
Okay. Rodo, everybody else seems to have retired to their rooms. Do you check in on anybody before heading to sleep?
If the doors are closed, I don't bother anybody.
All right. Deidre Lavender is with you. He is lying next to the crystal. It looks like he's just listening to the music coming from it. And he seems a little bit more at peace. Probably the most at peace since the episode of you being captured. And he says in your head, "It's good to be able to rest."
I know. It's been forever since we managed to at least rest for a bit and not worry. Her eyes look at... Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, now's the time for rest.
Are we doing like a full rest or something?
If you have any spent stuff, yes, this will take you through a long rest.
Get some rest
Alright.
there.
And he puts his paws out and his head down. And the night will pass without any trouble. Morning in the Astral Sea. The Astral Sea is not an entirely stationary thing. It moves and sways, sometimes in a set pattern, sometimes not in a set pattern. There is an astral sea rise, so to speak, of lights in the distance and slight flashes from wild sea or other spaces that kind of pop through the veil and pull back. It's a kind of sunrise, but a kind of not sunrise. But it is regular enough that it is seen as such. I'm going to... is anybody an early riser, and does anybody stay in bed late, typically speaking?
Plucky is an early riser.
Okay, everybody's just to determine who's awake first. Everybody's going to roll initiative. Anybody that views themselves as not a morning person, do it with disadvantage. Anybody else, do it regularly. This is just to determine who gets up first.
Not a big monster about to crash through the houses.
I got a 20.
Sheesh, your initiative is a +10?
Yes, it is. I have the alert feature.
Ooh, okay, so the order... So, Plucky, you're the first to get up. Do you stay in your room or do you go out and about?
I think I might just get a lay of the land, listen around, tap a few things, just see if I could find anything that might interest me.
Okay. In the room or in the house in general?
In the house in general.
Okay, so I'm going to assume you go downstairs?
Yeah.
I'm going to plop you in the living room. Feel free to move elsewhere if you want. Luke, you're the second person up. What do you do?
Luke is going to bumble on down to the main living space, bumble on around the corner, bumble in here, and see what they got for food and start cooking.
There are eggs, jams, there are various sauces out, spices.
He's making a full platter. He wants to do eggs, bacon, sausage, ham, fruit cut, and everything like that. He's no chef, so he's going to try his damn best. But he wants to try to do up a little something for everyone after the scene he made yesterday.
Roll. Do you consider cooking more of an art, a performance, or a technical skill?
Lucifer's always seen it as a survival tactic, or survival skill.
Go ahead and roll survival.
I'd also like to note that Plucky hasn't changed back to the goblin form, so only like Roto will recognize him.
Alright, oof. So, Luke, it smells fantastic. It comes together well. You are making a wonderful meal. You two are downstairs. Roto and Deidre, you are awake. There is a knocking at the front door.
No, I don't want to wear the makeup. Oh.
Sorry.
Hey guys, the door's being knocked on.
Sorry. Come on, Avatar.
Yeah.
Deidre goes to the door.
Alright, Deidre.
Smells great down here.
The wood on the door knocks again.
She opens it. Morning.
You see a woman with red hair, very, very well done. She has pristine skin. She looks out and she says, Deidre Waterstone.
Yes?
I am Zabet, here to discuss your desired contract with the Archdevil Titivilius. May I come in?
Sure?
She
Was all of that said out loud at the doorway?
She said all of that out loud.
Oh, I guess that's public knowledge now. And we got a name.
She looks over at you, Plucky, and she said, Makeup in the morning does wonders, sweetheart.
Yeah. And then I just like make my face look like hers. I just like stick out my tongue like a little child, just like, ee.
Lucky, maybe now it's not the good time.
She smiles. She has under her arm scroll cases, and she says, this does affect all of you, so if we could have a seat in the main room.
Yes, sure. And I turn back into the goblin form.
As she steps through,
Edie, what did you do?
Plucky, she hands you a piece of paper. Will you take it?
You guys come into a whole bunch of food. The whole table is like set up with eggs, sausage, the whole nine. You'd be like, oh, I wasn't expecting a visitor. I didn't. Oh, I guess you can have some.
Why, thank you.
But
You
I
are
do,
quite kind. Plucky, do you take it?
Being from the Fey realm, he is very hesitant being handed anything from any group he's not associated with. So could he do like some kind of investigation?
If you don't take it, you can do investigation at disadvantage. If you do take it, you can do a regular investigation.
I'll take it and do a regular investigation.
All right. Right away, you notice that it's musical notes.
Oh, 22.
It looks like a regular score. You see it. It's in a minor chord, and you start going over the notes in your head. It's got this nice shadowy vibe to it as you go over it in your head. And she says, "Now play it quietly. That way we have atmosphere. The best deals are made with atmosphere. Now, Rodo, can you please have a seat?"
I go off in the corner and start strumming it. I seem a bit too excited about it.
Make a performance check real quick, just to have atmosphere.
Please be good. It's 50-50 with these checks for me.
Deidre, while he checks that, you are
10.
getting a very hard stare from Rodo.
It's 10.
It's
How
very
badly
hard.
do I do?
She holds up her hand and waves at you and says, "That's enough. That's enough. You tried."
I seem offended, but I understand, and I kind of stash it away.
Deidre Zabit takes out a long scroll and puts it on the table, and she says, "This is the contract that I have been authorized to give you. It divides your soul into 3 pieces, a third held by the Archdevil, a third held by the Archfey, and of course, a third held by yourself. In return, you agree to continue the quest of the Archfey. You also agree that should the Rakshasa appear, you will not join him, and given the opportunity, you will slay him."
How did you find out where we were?
Well,
Yeah, I don't really like having people know where I am.
I hate to
Occupational hazard and all.
I hate to say, your reputation does precede all of you. Even you, little plucky one. Even you have a reputation. But these 3, they
I've got
have
many
seen some things.
reputations.
These 3 have stared down the greatest demons in Hellfire ever. And they have stood in the presence of greatness. Archdevils, Archfey. They are quite remarkable. Their deal-making prowess, good, except for the Rakshasa. But should you...
What's the guy's name again?
Oh, no need to worry about the names of lesser fiends. Deidre, my dear, if you agree to the contract, you will be able to keep in perpetuity Lavender the Blink Dog. And as a sign of good faith, we have currently suspended the deal of the Lesser Fey. She puts on her glasses and looks at the paper. Yes, the Pixelily, yes. We have currently suspended her deal that the Fallen Assam, not Fallen, will have been Fallen Asamar. Lucifer, yes, we have suspended that deal, and we have revoked her ability to creep into his dreams and cause nightmares and havoc. Yes. And,
so that's why I've been sleeping better.
you do suddenly realize that you haven't seen Pixelily in a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, where's Pixelily?
She looks at you,
Listen.
Luke, and she says, "She's away. Don't worry. She's not hurt, but she's not hurting you." And
What did you do to Pixie?
Hey, big guy, you probably should stay sitting for this.
What?
oh,
He's gonna look at you, Plucky, and be like, "You didn't see the trouble that I went through to save Deidre. Now, Pixelily, she's my fucking Pixie that we've gone on adventures together. She's a part of the fucking party."
In matters like this, you gotta show respect. or bad stuff can happen.
Rodo, as those two go on, Zabet looks at you and she says, "We have also reached out to the legal authorities and under Baron, and you're charged for smuggling. Oh no, I see potential smuggling and running checkpoints. Yes, that is currently suspended and will not be pursued while the negotiations are underway." This is quite a good deal. The Underbarons are notoriously difficult to deal with. It does say here that it has to be publicly known that you are against smuggling, so we have put out our feelers there that you are an anti-smuggling party, and you will face no current consequences for your actions.
Madam, do I fit into this in any way?
I've seen you change. You fit into many things in many ways.
He smiles when she says that.
She pulls out a second scroll and she says, "I am quite willing to make a deal with you. What would you like?"
I honestly I don't really need a deal for anything.
If you need nothing, then I will find you at a time that you do. Trust me, we are always watching. And she tucks that scroll back into her thing, and she puts her hand, waves it on the contract in front of you, and says, "Now, Deidre, you are already heavily indebted to the Archfey, and you have posited a connection to our Archdevil friends. I think that this is the best deal that you could get. It does say that return of soul will be allowed once each task is completed. Should you fail to complete a task, the contract of soul is transferable to the defrauded party." Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, you see, if you decide to accept the Archfey's gifts and then not go through, for example, you have your Blink Dog friend there, a gift of the Archfey for the contract signed with him. You have already accepted his terms. If you break a deal with the Archfey, he will become the defrauded party, and as Feys do, they will find a way to make recompense. What this contract does is it creates a third party to help intervene between you and other parties, or if you're friendly with the Archfey, you two can talk about finding a way to buy the third part from Titivilius, and everything will be made whole. If you complete both tasks, of course, everything will be made whole and you will be your own person again. Right now, I would honestly say the split is somewhat 50-50 between you and the Archfey. This deal creates another broker, and part of is given from the Archfey, and part is given from you, and it becomes a 3-party contract. You understand? The timeline is quite generous.
But I haven't accepted anything from T yet.
Well, not T, but T is attempting to help you. You are currently being hunted by one of the fiercest hunters in all of the Hells. Wouldn't you like some help on that end?
I wouldn't mind to know who's hunting me.
Al Monroe, of course. You've abandoned him. He has a goal and you have let him go.
What?
I mean, from what I understand, that's at least how he sees it. We're trying to give you the tools to defend yourself against the worst of the Hells.
But I don't understand. Alan let me get kidnapped. Why would he even care?
Allow is such an odd word. Did you return to him upon freedom?
No.
Did you agree to help him in his task?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You see, my dear, when you make deals, you should be more cognizant of the terms of them. It's really the Archfey, the deal that you are underneath, that is the problem. It's really him that you should worry about not completing. We're trying to give you another avenue to complete that. When he decides to press you towards the Blue Fey again, and you remain seated, I must say that will be quite painful.
What do you mean by that? Don't I just turn purple?
Oh no, dear. Oh no, no, no. No, 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 no. You haven't actively in your mind revoked his task yet, have you?
Mm-mm.
May I help you? I don't want to hurt you, but I must warn that this will hurt a little bit. I need you in your heart of hearts to decide to abandon the Archfey and no longer pursue his task. And it will hurt, but only a little bit. But it will hurt every day as you actively make that choice.
What will
And
happen to
on
Robin
whose
then?
behalf do you do this?
I am helping Deidre. Deidre will make a deal with the Archdevil, who has already been in negotiations with this Archfey. They will split the prize, and upon completion of the contract, Deidre will have more control of her soul than she currently does.
What happens when one of them wants more than what they got?
You don't deal with devils and Fey a lot, do you, sweetheart?
I run from devils and grew up with Fey.
We are all quite contract bound.
I know that part.
We don't want more than our contract, and should we make negotiations and offers and gifts. I must say, I've always wondered for the longest time if an Archfey and an Archdevil got into a bidding war, who would win? It's fascinating to watch unfold. Quite fascinating. I will say, the Archdevil is on your side, more so than the Archfey, certainly more than Al Monroe.
Okay, Miss Zabet, we need a minute to confer.
Would you like me to step outside of the room?
Yes, please.
Of course. I
I
will
think
step
I'm
into
gonna-
the hall. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm gonna
She
stand by
steps
the
away.
door and listen. This is amongst you folks.
Plucky, come here and
Yeah?
sit down.
He sighs and like, alright, yeah. This is just not a good situation, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
the choice seems simple, but the simple is a devil.
Let's sit for a minute. Everybody sit around the table. Get cozy with the food. I'm gonna get Liam's tiny hut around us.
Real quick, what's the range of that spell?
It is a 10-foot radius.
Okay, so everybody will be kind of tightly packed together as the cone of
can-
silence appears in front of you.
Luckily, I'm already small while I'm in this form, so I don't take up as much space.
Okay. Deirdre,
Yeah?
what are they talking about?
The Hellfire Candle.
Right,
It was
the candle that burnt her hand, and there was a devil involved, and she doesn't want to tell us about it. But that time has passed.
There's
Deirdre,
some-
you take lead on this.
There's something in my rod. The one you've seen me in contact with so many times.
Right.
Apparently, it's an archdemon devil, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of terrified of what he knows and the deal with him. What he's been trying to get me to agree to is to kill Alan Monroe.
How big's this Al Monroe guy? Heard the
Big.
name. Could we see the stick? We're not gonna touch it. At least I'm not gonna touch it, but could we see it?
It's upstairs in my room. I wouldn't recommend touching it right now.
And we don't want it out in the hut anyway. This is private conversation. Nothing that happens around that stick would be private. So, Deirdre, you owe your soul to the Archfey.
But that's the thing. I didn't sign a contract.
Words are binding for devils and fays.
Roto's gonna look at Lavender. Pup,
Well, actually, for Lavender, for the Archfey, yes.
Roto's gonna look right at Lavender. Pup, does Deirdre owe her soul to the Archfey?
Yes.
You see Lavender's head
that's
go
a bummer,
down.
dude.
What was that about Lavender?
You see his head kind of go down in a bit of avoidance and shame.
Lavender.
Right. And the rod puts you in the sights of an archdevil,
Mhm.
and with these two people in your orbit, we also apparently betrayed and monumentally pissed off an extra powerful entity of some kind in Al Monroe.
Mhm. Because I
What
noticed.
can you... You go on.
Al Monroe is not part of the purple. He's part of the red. The ones that invade the ball that night.
And
What do you know about the man?
He's very smart. He's terrifying. He has 2 different forms. I don't remember. I don't recall what. Can I roll history if I can recall the agreement I have with Monroe?
History's fine. Insight.
History is my highest.
Could I also roll to see if I've heard of him through any of my channels?
I don't think there's a way for you to specifically know Al Monroe.
Just any rumors or anything that could be him?
Let me answer Deidre's first, and then I know what I want you to roll.
Alrighty.
Deidre, you, during your talks with Al Monroe, you agreed more or less that helping him complete this task would break whatever bond or deal, or end whatever bond or deal he had with the Purple Fae, which was the reason why he told you he was involved in all this in the first place. And Plucky, let's see how much you know about Rakshasas in general. That would typically be an Arcana or a History check. And with an extraordinarily high DC.
Both of these, it's gonna be unlikely, but let's try Arcana. Yeah, it's a 9.
No, they're not common, and they are not open creatures.
I was just wondering if they like have any connection to my neck of the woods, the criminal underworld, all that fun stuff.
It's possible, but it's very hard to say. They are very discreet creatures in their nature. Deidre, his desire, Al Monroe's desire, if stated to you, we can choose to believe it or not, was to end a deal that he had made. He had never specified what that is, and he had looked at your help and your adventuring with him as a way to that means, a way to that end. You are a means to that end for him.
I'm the means to that end for him. To get out of a deal. He never specified or said what that deal he made.
Well, you know, people who make deals, they don't like to talk about it.
And yet he told me, in confidence.
I think we're beyond confidence with Mr. Al Monroe, right?
Yeah, I think that lid was fucking blown open.
Yeah.
I never lied to him to begin with, and I want you all to tell me that I was right.
Deidre said, you're right.
No, that's what I thought. I never hear those words, and I will be living off of this for the next
Big guy, now's probably not the time.
Listen, little guy. Time is never there for us, so I'll make it myself.
Yeah,
Deidre's a friend. She knows it comes out of a good place. So why don't you establish your own relationship with her and let me continue having the relationship I've had?
I was trying to establish a relationship, but the relationship I was trying to establish just got blown open by Redhead over there.
That's a thing of the past.
I put 2 and 2 together, but you guys have been traveling with her for a long time and didn't even realize.
I say we kill them all.
Yeah, that will work. Yeah, totally, that will work. You go ahead and just go in. Swords swinging, arrows flying. What do you think is gonna happen?
I was more talking to everyone here too. It's a legitimate suggestion. Don't get too plucky on us.
Plucky?
I'm except in the habit of only choosing fights that I can win. I'm not actually opposed to that. My concern is that word arch in front of both Fey and Devil.
Highest of both communities, so to speak.
I'm more concerned on what Al Monroe wants me to do.
All right, so you said Al Monroe's red, and we know that the Lavender Mist went and became Rosy Red, and that she's currently with the Reds, right? Is that my memory serving me?
Yep. Jim?
All right.
I think...
But she might be hanging with a blue guy, but not Lavender.
Here's the thing, whatever you choose, you gotta make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew. I've taken a couple bad jobs, but those bad jobs, at the end of the day, wouldn't have a Fey or a devil after me.
That's
And-
the worst thing. I don't know. We don't know
And
where
as he's-
Alamo is. Sorry.
As he's saying this, he's like letting his guard down, and he's no longer in his goblin form. He's in his real form in front of everybody, actually concerned and worried.
I think.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, I think. All right. I have an inherent distrust of archdevils, and I don't think that we should immediately believe what this envoy has to say. But if the pup can confirm that the Archfey is in agreement with the Archdevil and that the deal is legitimate, I see no reason.
Yeah, and if you split it through, it sounds like you split it through ways. You still get a part of your soul for yourself. You don't often get that choice in deals like this.
Souls are kind of an all or nothing deal.
Exactly.
Right.
We
All
mortals
chips-
can work with fractions of them.
How about this? Give me, let's see. We could make a little game out of this.
A game?
It's the only way I can make this not so bleak. Think of the pros and cons of everything that you can think of the three little parties involved in this venture. Think of how it will affect your two friends here.
I am unconcerned about mortal criminal charges at the moment, which is
I have
all
a
they.
court date at some time, so I don't care either.
I'm actually wanted by this
Sorry
Archfey
for
fella, to
interrupting
be
you,
honest.
Rodo.
I'm honestly wanted by him. Think I stole something from him?
I don't want to drag you guys into this.
Well, look
Did
at
you
me.
read it?
We're already here. I'm like a complete stranger to you guys, and I'm already invested. I want to make sure you're all right.
All right, let's break this down to brass tacks.
Because what if you guys?
We betrayed. Sorry, go ahead, Didi. I've talked over you twice now. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I don't want you guys to get hurt. Look for you lost your arm because of me.
Hey, I didn't lose my arm, it just turned to stone. I've still got it, see? I've got an arm and it's magical. I'm just getting used to it is all.
And yet you guys almost died because you wanted to save me. Lavender.
And we would do it again and again. So would Lavender. I think. I can't really tell. They're a dog. Rodo, I think, has a plan, and I think, Deidre, you've been through a lot. You're still going through a lot. I think if Rodo has something, a potential thing, we're in his sister's house. He seems to be having our backs a lot. I think we should listen to what he has to say, and you just know we've been through a lot together, and we will continue to go through a lot, because that's what we do.
Right.
All right, let's. Oh, Christ.
Why don't we consult with the dog?
Lavender?
You see Lavender, his head is still down. And in your mind, Deidre, you hear a forced silence. Make an insight check.
Mm-hmm. 20.
You sense shame and worry emanating from him as he is actively not saying anything, and there is a strong sense of guilt coming from him as well.
Lavender, please.
He very slowly lifts his head.
If there's something that you need to say, please say it.
You hear him say in your head, if I need to go away to make sure you're safe, I'll happily go. I didn't mean to cause so much trouble when I came.
You're not leaving.
He puts his head back down.
Can the dog tell us if the deal's legit?
Is this deal real, Lavender?
I would never assume to know the mind of an archfey. Our Lord of Lavender works towards his purposes, but he is true to his word. If he has agreed to something, he will be bound by that contract as much as anyone else. Beware of whatever loopholes he might have in it.
There's always some kind of backdoor.
That is the real problem with Archfey and Archdevils.
Yeah, and I should pass this information to the others.
Deirdre,
Oh yeah, I can't hear it, Lavender, sorry.
Deirdre, I'm 100% on your side. I don't know if I want a deal with an Archdevil or an Archfey, even while I'm helping you with yours.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder... You appear to be between a rock and a hard place. And I wonder if we can get the deal just for you.
You know, my dad, he dealt with devils, from what I've heard. It don't end well. But from what I've experienced with Fays, it don't end well either. And he's like kind of, he rolls up his sleeves and his arms are just, you just see the metal of his suit. And he's just like, I think the best chance of somewhat survival you have is choosing both. You get to keep some of your soul. No devil, no fae makes that offer without a good reason.
But they also don't make it without selfish reasons.
Everybody has selfish reasons. I have selfish reasons. I'm sure that even once upon a time you folks had selfish reasons before you grouped together. I'm sure maybe even now you still have a tiny bit of selfishness in you.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm not trading my soul to an archdevil.
I've traveled. I've seen darkness. I've never dealt with this kind of darkness this closely before. Deirdre, it is your choice. Do it however you want. Draw straws, flip a coin, pray for all I care. But do what you feel is right. Do it what your heart says you should do. This is a dark thing, a dark place. But only you have the real answer for you. Ignore the rod, ignore the dog. Just do what you think is needed, what is right, what you can do. And I don't mean to overstep. I know I'm the new guy. I've seen many contracts go sideways. Trying to keep some of mine from going sideways right now as well.
So the question is, Deirdre, do you want the protection of Al Monroe that this deal will give you?
Yes, if it means to protect not just myself, but all of you.
As you
Right.
say that, Lucky seems uncomfortable.
All right, I'm going to call the lady back in. I'm going to tell her that Lucifer and I are not interested in deals with either party. Do you agree with that, Lucifer?
The only deal that I want is to have Pixelily back in our party.
You think?
If that can't be made, then I want no deal at all. And I'm with you, Roto. Now that I realize Pixelily is gone, it's kind of like one of those presences I thought I wasn't gonna miss, but now I'm actually kind of missing. I just don't miss the nightly adventures. But yeah, I'm with you, Roto. That's what I need to say.
You think I could ask her a question without having to make a deal?
I think that is a question for her. I'm going to drop Tiny Hut, and I'm going to go to the door and call her back.
You see her just kind of...
Miss Zabit,
Yes. Do you have an
the
answer?
mess in the office?
You know, these books, you are very fond of opera, aren't you? I am quite familiar with some of these myself.
Yeah, of course, yeah, opera's great.
I will
Come back
have
in.
to send you the tickets. I have seasoned seats for some of the best ones on the rock. I look forward to it.
I've got access myself. You should save those for somebody who for somebody who could use them.
I appreciate the consideration. Don't be surprised if my box seats suddenly appear balcony view.
Roto just sighs heavily. He's like, all right, Zabit, I'm gonna take it right down to the essence.
Yes.
Lucifer and I don't care for your deal. We will deal with our own issues.
Are you saying you would like us to revoke the legal protections and the sidelining of the current deal between one Lilia, Pixia? I don't
Pixie
remember.
Lily.
Yes.
Yeah, those guys do want the little fairy back.
It can be arranged. I don't suppose that would be difficult at all. So you want in
I mean, it would have to
jeopardy?
not be difficult since the deal was proffered but not accepted.
Yes, of course. We will reinstate the charges. We will make sure that people know that you are not against smuggling, and we will turn the little pixie thing. Not difficult at all. And in return, what you have to do, sign this agreeing to continue the Archfey's quest. And the Archdevil's request is, of course, that you consort with Al Monroe no more, and if given the opportunity, you will slay said beast.
That one is up to Deirdre.
She holds out a pen to you.
Nurse Faye, I agree to. However, I believe I was still in conversation with the Archdevil.
Yes, he'll certainly help you. He will even grant you powers should you desire it. Of course, powers are slightly different pacts, but pacts that we are willing to make. I myself have entered into one and enjoy it quite a bit.
I'm not really looking for power.
Friendship, then. I was granted a couple of pets. They are very nice creatures. They will sit and talk with you, and they have wonderful laughs.
What hypothetically, what about a father?
Are you saying that you would like
They
the
are grossly
Archdevil to be
overrated.
your father?
I don't know. I don't know my biological father or my mother.
Devils often step into the spot and can be someone's father or mother figure. I mean, really, they're there to comfort us in our time of need, and they help us with said deals.
The traveler would not like that.
The Traveler. Interesting. So we are agreed that you will sign the said contract. You will retain a 33% interest in your soul. 33% will go to the Archfey, and 33% will be held by the Archdevil.
No more, no less.
Correct. The opportunity to transfer will become available under certain conditions. You will retain the shares of the others on completion of the task. I do know that Tivilius, our good friend and archlord, is excited to see the extinguishing of the flame of that pesky Rakshasa, always with his nose where it doesn't belong. Always.
May I ask?
Yes, of course. Anything, my
What sort of deal did he made
dear. With
that will require
Tivilius?
me? Yes.
Well, the Rakshasa and the Archdevil made no deal. They are at each other's throats quite often. It's a back and forth. Are you talking with the Fae? Gambling debt. He has it quite bad.
No surprise from a fae.
So why does he want with me? What does he want with me then?
First the sign, then I'll explain everything required of you. I'll even run you through their little Court of Colors scheme. Leave it to the Fae to create such a silly thing. A world of power, and they focus on colors.
If I sign this, Dark Devil is to give me the information I require.
I'll tell you about the Archfey. It's quite easy what he wants you to do, really.
Well, the Archdevil.
Oh, he just wants you to kill, sweetheart. He has a rivalry. It's been going on for some time. I think you yourself now have animosity towards that beast of a thing. You'll quite enjoy sticking the knife in. No? You don't have to do it yourself. That one, she points at you, Rodo, or that one, she waves her hand to the right and points at Lucifer. They enjoy stabbing things. It doesn't matter who kills him. It matters that he dies. It matters that he exists no more.
Point of order, I do not in fact enjoy stabbing things. I would much prefer to kill with energy blasts, but I'm not averse to it.
And see, I actually prefer taking their heads in between my hands and squeezing so tightly until it pops in my hand like a fruit.
She picks.
Well, I want to kill something.
She picks
That's
up.
very graphic.
She picks up the contract again and says, "The deal with the Archdevil to Tivilius will be satisfied upon elimination of the Rakshasa. May he rot in his own filth, Al Monroe. It is quite clear. Upon his annihilation, you are free, and if you do that, you will have more ownership in your soul than the Archfey, and you might have more sway than you do now. Or vice versa, not to ever cross an Archdevil. If you complete the Archfey's deal,
you can gain his part, and you can have 66% of your soul, and maybe be in a position to make a more favorable deal with the archdevil. I'll even help you. God knows I'd love to get one over on him. And she puts her hand to her mouth as she says God and goes, whoops. So we all
You gotta make the
agreed.
call, Deirdre. Lucifer and I will run anyone out of here if we need to. But vacillating is just going to make things worse.
Right. As she picks up the pen. Any information that Archfey has
Sign.
at all, I'll sign. He will give it to me without question.
She holds a contract up. She hands you the pen.
As she signs.
As you sign, she takes the scroll, she rolls it up, she puts it in her case, and she says, what the Archfey wants from you, she has reverted to red. Actually, more specifically, her nature has split back to red and blue. The blue portion is no longer willing to play nice with the purple version. You see, the Archfey, there are 6 specifically, 3 primary and 6 secondary. The Lord of Lavender is very powerful. He's a secondary. He exists when red and blue come together. He's quite satisfied with his position. She was not. You, my dear, are blue. He doesn't care for the current blue that made up his bride. So as they split and back into their component parts, he needs someone of a bluish nature to go and impose upon the red again until they become purple. That is your purpose. You are simply blue. You are a part of this color palette, and you will return her to purple and her satisfactory state, and she'll return to him. And the pesky blue portions that currently is separated and existed before will not need again. All colors are really composites. Yeah, go ahead.
I just have to go to the bathroom really bad. Sorry, this is like the worst possible time, but I really gotta go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. We'll keep minor talk in the meantime.
Okay, go for it.
So I do want to note this: when you signed that, it was in black ink. It wasn't any like blood contract or anything. So if you like expected any fire or flames or fanfare with it, nope. It's just a straight black ink across. Rodo, she keeps glancing up at you with a smile.
So that's all I am, just to get the color palette?
Well, not only, you have a calm demeanor, of course. Your calm demeanor will make the new Lady of Lavender somewhat more willing to stay, pleasing, you know, somewhat more docile. The blue half was too adventurous. It didn't want to be in a mansion existing without adventure. When the parts of you combine with the parts of her, and the new Lady Fey is born, she'll be a part of your personality.
Wait, what do you mean by her parts of her, parts of me combining? What do you mean by that?
Well, you see, the Archfey, the 3 primary, exist in their own right. They control everything in their colors in their own right. They have strong personalities in their own right. The lords and ladies of these colors will combine to make new colors, secondary colors, if you will. Don't call them secondary to their faces. They're very over sure of themselves. You know, think they're more than they are. But, you know, if you have an orange Fey, that means that a red and a yellow Fey combined into a new being, and they are both their old selves and their new selves. And if a secondary becomes too dissatisfied with their position, they split back into what they were before. Now, if there is marriage arrangements or existing contracts that creates tension and things have to be renegotiated or reforced to a normal, natural conclusion, the same thing with green. Green is nothing more than blue and yellow combining. And they do make their own kingdoms, but pish posh. Pish posh. These Fey are far too color oriented. Do you understand?
A little.
The parts of you that are blue will combine with rosy red, and the parts that you give her and the parts that she is will still exist, but they'll become a new thing, purple thing.
But what will happen to the old one?
They exist. They exist. And should the dissatisfaction become significant again, they could split again. But the belief was that the selection of you would be less likely to become dissatisfied in that world, and that the new purple would be more likely to stay. That's why you were chosen.
So I'm just gonna be being used for replacing parts, am I?
Well, I think that he liked your personality too. He searches the world for beings of different color that can help him. Certainly personality plays a part. It's not something that I would do. I would, of course, be a red myself. And she takes her hand, she puffs up her hair underneath. I would be a part of the red. But, you know, a fiery red.
Right.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Plucky.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
You're good.
I was doing a full-on pee-pee dance, you know?
Dudes.
Deidre, she says, we appreciate this contract. Do you need anything to potentially hunt? Oh, do you intend to hunt down Almond Row?
I don't even know where to look.
Oh, don't worry. I would certainly be on the look. When he discovers our deal, he will probably be on the lookout for you. But now remember, you can't go make a deal with him to void this deal. Voiding this deal, attempting to, would have severe consequences. Now, as agreed with your party, I will reinstate the legal charges and the pixie will come back, and everybody will know that you are not against smuggling as you all decided. I wish you luck in the Brawl legal system. May I be honest? They are quite open to bribery. The underbarons themselves have a hand in smuggling, if you know what I mean.
We could talk to the juggler again. And he seems like very excited by the thought.
Zabit smiles. Just remember, everybody has their interests at heart. And Deidre, we're happy that you have our interests at heart. We look forward to a long line of service with you.
Right.
Now remember, if you want any of those special powers that come with a pack, let me know. I'll be around.
Right.
It will take a day or two to reinstate the charges against you, but you will assumably hear from the authorities soon. Probably the GIF. I'm the GIF. I'm the law. Yes, annoying creatures. If I were
Anybody
you,
who works for the law is annoying.
I agree. Although the GIF, when they fall out of favor and they drown themselves in various things, then they're delightful and funny.
Easy targets, too.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Fur, Mr. Luke.
Yes.
I want to give you a heads up too. Consider this one free. There is a GIF asking about newcomers. You in particular.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Brahe.
Did he still have a large hand mark across his face?
Oh, jeez, not again.
He seems to think that you agreed to fight him in the pits.
He's just mad I got a lucky one off. And I'm not gonna be there either, so. Because I never agreed.
Yes, I look forward to
Luke.
seeing the confrontation.
Miss Zelbit,
She smiles and she goes, yes.
when you said the new lavender appear, Lady Lavender will appear from me,
Yes, you will give
would that
a part of yourself, a part of your essence, to Rosy Red, and they will combine, and they will form a new Lady Lavender. Think of it, a part of you will be Archfey royalty.
What will happen? What do I have to do?
When the time comes, you will know. You'll see her essence, and you will give a part of your magical essence, and that's how color Feys are born.
Would I lose my color, or?
I honestly don't know. I'm not concerned with such things. I am concerned with our part of the deal, and I do believe that he is floating somewhere on that stolen ship of his.
Right.
Oh, I also included I forgot to mention one thing that I did for you. I'll let you decide if you'd like me to revoke it or not. I have made
What did-
arrangements with the Archbaron about your FeyJammer, if you could call a coffin ship that. They have agreed to waive the current fees that are accruing for keeping it at the docks so consistently. I can make arrangements to put it in an off-asteroid long-term parking. You would need to get a ride over to use it, but if I were you, I would find something much more pleasing than a coffin ship. That's grave dirt under your feet there, sweetie. No chairs? A dragon skull at the head? Horrific. Although the necrotic energy that powers the coffin ship is quite pleasing in its own way.
We'll manage. It's not much, but it's still our ship.
Yes, well, the current fees are paid. It will accrue so much every day. And in time, those will accrue penalties themselves. I suggest putting it in a long-term parking off the asteroid. Much cheaper.
Would it be safer, though?
Who would steal a coffin ship? I'll tell you what, if it does get stolen, you can report it to the authorities. They will be looking for you. She laughs. Well, I do believe that I've worn out my welcome here. I will be in touch and consider.
Wait,
Yes.
could I ask you a question about somebody without making a deal?
You can always ask.
Whatever happened to my dad?
How much do you want to know?
If he's alive or dead?
Oh no, how much? How much do you want to know? She pulls out a scroll. How much?
Lucky.
Everything
Don't.
is worth a price.
One day, I probably will call upon you to make a lovely little deal. But it ain't gonna be for this. Ain't gonna be for him.
She lets go of the scroll as it slowly slides back in its tube and says, "There are always creatures to make deals with on the rock. Just remember, violence is discouraged on the asteroid itself, should it need to occur. Discreet is always better than open." And she begins to walk away. Ta-ta for now. She opens the door and walks away.
What did you
Rhoda's
get?
gonna follow her to make sure that she leaves.
I'm going to get ready for the day.
Rhodo, if you look outside, she is strolling down the way.
What did you folks get me into? And I slowly turn back to my goblin form.
Lots of fun things.
This is what we call an adventure.
I'm just gonna get ready for the day, okay, guys?
Yeah. Yeah. And Plucky just looks at the ground and whispers to himself very quietly, "This better be worth it."
For sure, Dee. Yeah, let's regroup and figure out what we're doing with our day.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a good idea.
Luke, a pixie suddenly bursts into existence behind you. She wraps her arms around your neck and says, "I knew you loved me." And that is where we will call it for tonight.
Thank you, DM.
Wonderful game, guys. Lots of fun.
Awesome.
I have to run really quick because it's March break here and the kids are fighting bedtime.
I
Wonderful
understand.
evening.
Congratulations on affiliate again, Luke.
Thank
Yep,
you so
congrats.
much. I appreciate that. It was very exciting.
And Deidre,
Thank you.
congratulations on your deals, your newly made deals.
Yep.
In
you're gonna be
survival
seeing-
at its finest.
Yes. Out of game. Does anybody know anything about Rakshasas?
Nope.
I know a little bit about
All I
Rakshasas.
know about anything that's going on is I looked up the juggler, and that's about it.
No, you're gonna ruin the surprises.
I'm not gonna say anything. It's just Plucky's going to have a very obvious admiration towards her.
And she is quite a creature to be admired.
Also, guys,
Yep.
there's gonna be some new DD art
Really?
next session.
I look forward to seeing it when you get it out.
Out of
Yep.
curiosity,
I see.
is there going to be like a little demonic twist now?
It's definitely different, but I'm tempted.
Just to be clear, though, Lucifer, I am not looking forward to seeing you when you decide to get it out again. A reminder that pants are not optional in the public spaces.
I will let it be known I have been dressed since the occasion yesterday, and that was only because I thought there was a ghost.
Only to find out there's a little devil next door.
I lost it because I haven't even showed up yet, and you guys are just. He has no pants on.
Listen. This is the thing we often do. Besides the pants,
Lose
we don't
pants?
do the pants off. We sit next to each other.
I am gonna be honest. This is gonna be weird. That Plucky's probably gonna be like one of the most serious people, and he's not serious at all.
It is quite a group of people, and I am pleased to have all of you in the group.
Same.
I think.
I hope everyone has a good night. I'm gonna go eat food with my girlfriend. I hope everyone has a wonderful night, a great week, and I will talk to you guys next week.
You too.
I
Yep.
think
I gotta go night too. Good night, guys. We'll talk to you in a week.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
It was a great session.
Thank you.
Good night,
Sorry.
guys.
Bye.